Sorry if you just joined. Oh, if you just joined a second ago and it cut out for some reason, it wouldn't let me change the camera on my phone. It wouldn't let me change the orientation. But anyway, thanks for joining. My name's Glenn. This is my channel, BitGlen. I'm trying to vlog my cryptocurrency journey as I go along. Obviously, I've tried to document every stage of my cryptocurrency journey so I can share it with you guys and just give my honest take on what's happening at that point in time. If you're new to this channel, or if you know someone who would like to follow my journey with you, don't forget to click the subscribe button, which I believe will be down here somewhere. And also share it on your social media if you feel this content's good enough. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up as well. It helps out with the sharing the video on YouTube. And you can always join me if you want to chat to me outside of these videos. I've been getting some really good constructive comments on my last couple of YouTube videos in regards to obviously Envion and some of my older videos, actually, oddly enough. So people are going back and watching some of my older content. So but if you do want to chat to me on a more one-to-one level or even in a group chat, you can find me on Telegram, which is BitGlen. We have a super chat in there, so like a big group of us in there. I think there's about 160 something now. There's a link to it in the description down below, so click that link and you're more than welcome to chat to me and Team BitGlen over at that link there. So we'll wait for a couple more people to join in, hopefully. 3 people have joined in already. Who have we got? We've only got 1 thumbs up though. We've got Russell says, "Hey Glenn," and Baby London says, "Yo." Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey. I've got a few things I wanted to talk about today, so this might be a lengthy video. So if you're just watching this just for the, what's going on with Envy and Glenn, I want to know what's going on. I'll talk about that first, and then I'll talk about some other ramblings on in my mind in the world of cryptocurrency. And that'll be after, so obviously then you can just switch off or come off the video. But we'll talk about Envion first, then we'll discuss why I think there's been a bit of a dip in the markets, especially during the week of consensus and now that we're finished. And also a couple other things I wanted to talk about. Baby London says, "BitGlen, like I told you, I got my credit card charges reversed." Well done. So really, you've got your tokens back at the price of $1 per token, which is fantastic. As you guys know, I've got 2 friends that I have invested in Envion on their behalf. My friend Nathan's told me to keep hold of the tokens. My friend Dan said, "Glenn, I just trust whatever you say, so you buy or sell the tokens, whatever." So I need to do that with his. But he actually bought about £1,800, that is, so probably about $2,200 worth of Envion tokens himself. Obviously, he thought it was a good project, good idea when I told him about it. He gave me some money to put into it, and then over the course of a month or whatever, he's gone and bought some more himself. But he paid with credit card like you did, Baby London. So he said to me, "Glenn, what should I do with..." I said, "Do a chargeback, like what you recommended to do." And he said, "How do I do that? What is it? What does that mean, though? Will it affect my credit rating? Will it affect this? Will it affect that?" And I said, "Oh, I don't know. I've never done it myself. But guys on my YouTube channel are telling me that they're doing a chargeback on their credit card. So you have to ring them up and see." I don't know if he's done that yet. I only told him about it 2 days, not last night, night before. So yeah, maybe I'll obviously keep you guys posted with what's happening in his end, to see how easy that process is or not to do a chargeback on your credit card for an ICO that you invested in. Now, I always knew, with credit cards, you're a bit more secure when you buy stuff online. You can say, right, I bought a pair of trainers and they haven't turned up, or they've turned up but they're bright pink. I ordered blue ones, and I think they've had me over. And your credit card company normally are pretty good like that. I don't know how it works with, you know, if you've invested in a company or bought stocks or shares or tokens or, you know, got involved. I don't know how that works. So yeah, that'd be interesting to find out actually, because obviously I haven't had that issue. So, but anyway, so let's get into it. What I wanted to discuss, the thumbs up have gone down actually. I had 2 a minute ago, now I've only got 1. Wah, wah, wah. Boo. What I wanted to discuss today, so Envion, as you guys know, while I was doing my live videos, and I wish to God I still had my laptop. I wish, because I could document the videos and record myself, you know, with the little face in the corner, and share it with you guys as and when we're doing it. And I still wish that today actually, because I can't actually show you obviously what they've been posting. All I can do is talk about it. So bear with me a second. So Russell says, you got mine. You can always rely on Russell. He's a good man, he is. Good man, Russell is. So Envion, anyway, let's crack into it. So we saw some videos. We saw a news article come out from Envion, the founder team, stating that the CEO of Envion, and this is why I was really confused when I first read it. I was like, why are Envion giving us an update on their own company misbehaving? But obviously I understand there's 2 different parties going on here. You got the Envion founders and you have the Envion CEO, Mattis Wussman or something like that. And apparently it was him and another guy. I can't remember his name exactly. Thomas something, I think it was. But anyway, 2 guys. I seem to have a bit of a better understanding of it now than when I did that night. Obviously, that video I done was an instant reaction to what had just happened, what I just saw and read, and that, you know, a very quick glance. So, anyway, done this. Envion, the founders team, have released this article about how the CEO had done an analog hack, if you like. So not an actual, you know, hack in terms of like a hacker cracking code and getting into the system. He's obviously gone in somehow and he's just either transferred funds or done something. So that means he's obviously tried to obtain all the funds and the tokens. So he's responded with a very polished edited video saying, actually, the founder team have created this 20 million coins, tokens, on top of the 86 million that we actually genuinely sold, which I feel was a breach of contract. It's maybe it's illegal. It's not against the ethos of the company and what he wants to be a part of. So he's sort of gone his separate way, if you like, a little bit. He's then proceeded to say, if you want, I'm still going to proceed with the project as he has access to the 100 million. But and this is from what I understand, so please don't hold this completely against me. He's stated that the original Envion token purchasers during the ICO stage, so if you bought Envion tokens when it was during the ICO stage, he's saying that there's legal and illegal tokens. Now, let's say, for me, for example, I bought day one. I got them at 70 cents. Let's say all my tokens were legal. I can then trade them for Envion 2, which is EVN2 tokens, which is a new token from him directly, not as such from the Envion founders. He's also saying that if you find that your tokens are not acceptable because they're part of the illegal tokens that were generated, because obviously I don't know how you would know which ones were the illegal ones and which ones, I don't understand how that works. But he's saying if you've got the illegal tokens, they won't honour it, and all it says on there, if you want to swap these for Envion 2 tokens, unfortunately your only course of action is to take legal action against the Envion founders team, because he's basically saying the tokens you have are illegal. They're not illegal. Well, yeah, I think the word they used was illegal. You can't use them, and they're not, not honoured in his token swap. So then, obviously, Envion founders team, Lorette in particular, done a sort of almost like a live video or an off-the-cuff video that he recorded, and he basically was responding to what this Matisse Wassman, we're just going to refer to him as Envion CEO. He's basically said, yeah, we did generate an extra 20 million tokens, but it was all up front. It's all honest. It's all on the blockchain. It was all there in the publicized updates for investors. We mentioned it in the Telegram group. We mentioned it on Facebook. There was going to be an extra 20 million generated for part of the bounty program, and also to cover a potential large investor that right up to the last minute pulled out. But he didn't say that at this time. So this is what I don't like. And this is getting a little bit, oh yeah, but this and that and that and that and that. He's basically said that, yeah, they generated these tokens and they were upfront about it. And what he's saying is completely wrong. And him going off with the funds and not actually letting the founder team have access to the funds or the tokens is now illegal, and they're pressing charges against him. So obviously I don't know where he stands with that or what's happening. He doesn't seem to be too bothered from what I've read and seen. And that is the video that obviously I recorded the other night with you guys, and we talked about it for over an hour. Today, as of now, I think there was a news article yesterday. He's got his own website now that is referred to as www.envion-recovery.org. And he's sort of like almost championing as if like he's saving the Envion project, which he may be. I don't know at this point. David says, hi, Glenn. Hello, mate. You're right. Thanks for joining. Russell says, what a forking joke. You got mine. Yeah, so he's sort of champion as if like he's saving Envion from the ashes sort of thing. That's the impression I got. So yeah, he's come out and said about these illegal tokens, non-illegal tokens, and how obviously the founder team have proceeded since this all kicked off and why they haven't been able to progress. He's then released an update today, like another email. Now this email came to me directly through my email address, so he's obviously got the whole database of every customer as well. He sent an email out as if from this Envion recovery saying like, you can exchange these tokens, blah blah blah. And I think in there he's also stated that the auditing process is still going ahead, and it should be finished by June, which is next month, from what I can remember off the top of my head. And once that auditing process is done, they're going to obviously get the okay to go ahead and start the mass production units of the MMUs. And then they're going to be shipped out and mined. And he said that they should start paying dividend payouts, I believe, in Q3 of this year. So this led me to think, oh, okay, well, that's really good news. That's what I've wanted to hear for fucking, that is what, please, this is what everyone's been asking for. When's dividend payouts? When will the audit be finished? When will there be MMUs made? When are they going to be deployed? In a very short, brief message, you just give everyone the information that they've been requesting for a good 5-6 months now. But obviously it's been tarnished now, because you read that and you think, oh well, that's if you're not ending prison. You know, I don't know what's going on. So then I thought, okay, well, he's obviously saving it. Now, obviously, as an investor or someone that's obviously been with Envion from the beginning, I'm sitting here thinking, well, hang on a minute. If I haven't got these Envion 2 tokens, does that mean my token, will I not receive dividend payouts? Will I not what happens, like, in terms of a new investor? Say if Envion did start paying out dividend payouts, how are people meant to know whether to buy the Envion or Envion 2 tokens? Like, yeah, it's a mess. It's an absolute mess. And Envion, the founder team, then released a update, which I just read before I did this video, actually. I think they posted it about 2 or 3 hours ago, but I only got round to reading it about half an hour ago. And I read it, you know, all the way through. I read it, took my time with it before I did this video. So as far as this video is recording, I've got the most up-to-date information. They've come out and said, right, his allegations of this 20 million tokens that were generated, we are now going to show proof that what he's saying is incorrect and it's an exaggeration and it's a desperate attempt, this is their words, a desperate attempt to divert attention from what he's doing, which is illegal, to us. Trying to make it sound like we've done something illegal, but it's actually him that gives the final go-ahead and him that can actually retract things that happen in Envion, but he's decided not to do that and then proceeded to complain about it. So they've posted this article, which you can find on Twitter. I'll retweet it in a sec once I finish this video, so you can just head over to my Twitter if you want. It's @glen, and you'll be able to see it, or Envion. Just search Envion through Twitter, although I don't know which one's the right one now. Which is the real Envion core. We don't want fucking Envion cash. Baby London says, sadly, this is the beginning of the end. This is just like Ethereum and Ethereum Classic, or Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash, or Ripple or Stellar shit show. Well, I'll get onto that in a second, Baby London, because a lot of people in the community are very divided about that. So they've released this article saying, right, we have no option now but to release proof of communications that we've had from the founder team to the CEO and his opportunity to come back and change, either burn the coins and agree it or disagree it. So they've basically said, right, yes, 86 million tokens were generated on the day. And we added an extra 20 million. But this wasn't all of us just plucking a figure out of thin air. They're saying that this CEO, he had a close relationship with a large investor that was looking to invest, I think it was between 5 to 7 million. So as well as the 86 million they've raised, he's saying, yeah, my buddy's going to invest 5 to 7 million. They've generated these coins extra because the ICO had finished, I assume, on the day. So they're like, right, we need some to cover this large investor because he's coming through in the next couple of days. And then after the coins were generated, he's then proceeded to say, oh no, actually he's cancelled now, he's not coming through. If you like this story, guys, anyway, give us a thumbs up. We've got 2 thumbs up in there, and a lot of people jumping in and out of the live video. Don't forget to smash that like button up. So they've generated these extra, PJ says, what I miss. I'm just updating everyone with what's happened with Envion over the last 2 days since I did my last video, PJ. So, but I think you're in the Telegram group chat and we've been sharing everything they're posting. So, yeah, so he's then, obviously this big investor's dropped out, right? So that explains like 5 to 7 million of these tokens. So they're saying the other 15 million tokens was for bounty program and for I don't know, to cover people that was late doing the KYC process and stuff like that. I don't know. But they had stated that any coins that were over, or anyone who didn't finish this KYC process, they will be burned. So it was only a sort of a band-aid, if you like. Now, they've shown... David says, I'm not in the Telegram group. Negator says, hey guys, thanks for joining, everyone. Thanks for joining the video. Don't forget to smash up the like button and subscribe if you're new to this channel. So then, anyway, they've covered themselves with these extra tokens, right? So they feel justified. And they've also then gone and actually posted emails from the founder team to the CEO. And they've said, you know, like, we have these extra tokens, your buddy's pulled out, what do you want me to do? Should I burn the other ones? And obviously at some point they've replied back and said, yeah, go ahead with it. But he's not responded, yeah? So he's like, he hasn't said, yeah, burn the tokens. They've then sent him another email, blah, 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 you know, what are we doing with the extra tokens that were generated? Do you want to burn them? And he hasn't responded as far as we can see. Then they've also shared hands getting a bit pins and needles, shared some other data with us, and they've blanked out certain points and kept the rest. But essentially it seems like the CEO has been really uncooperative, if you like. That's what it seems like based on the evidence that they're displaying. But remember, this is obviously a orchestrated update and attempt to undermine the CEO, but it could all be true, or you have to take it with a little pinch of salt. They then obviously stated that him and another gentleman from Envion have then gone off and obviously tried to do their own thing, which is completely illegal, and they're pressing charges. And they've sort of said in there, you know, he's got no experience. Essentially, this is what they're implying or hinting at. He's got no knowledge of how blockchains work. And they're sort of saying, look, every single token is accounted for. And what they've done is they've actually put a pie chart, which is actually this thumbnail if you've clicked on this video. They've put a pie chart of how each tokens were generated, how the payment method was. So you've got Bitcoin, credit card, Ethereum, pre-ICO, and then obviously the ICO stage and something else. They've shared that with all of us. And then they've also shared the actual wallet addresses. So the Bitcoin address, the Ethereum address of where this money, you know, cryptocurrencies come in to pay for these tokens, and then where they've gone out. So where the tokens were generated from those payments. So they're saying, look, there's a record of everything we've ever done right there. So we've never tried to hide anything. We've never tried to duck anything, dodge anything. It's all there. Anyone can view it. Any one of you guys can click on any of these addresses and do it. What's up with the laptop? It got green paint on it, and eventually it went inside and it messed up the motherboard. So it's dead. It's dead. Laptop's dead. But the insurance company should be giving me some money to replace it for a brand new one. So I'm waiting for that to come through. So they're sort of covering themselves, and Envion, the founders team, are saying, you know, yes, we have generated these tokens, but it's all legit. We've been honest with the investors from the beginning. Not at any stage have we ducked or hid anything. So that was quite, I think, important for them. They then also proceeded to say what he's doing with obviously creating the Envion 2 tokens is completely illegal, and it can't be done, and he should surrender the money and I assume the tokens and I assume the database of everyone, because how would he email me privately, you know, like, and I assume he emailed everyone. He should surrender that over to the founders team so they can carry on with the process of making these MMUs. And that's where we're at as of, I don't know, what time is it? 11 o'clock tonight in the UK. So that's everything. I think I've covered everything. The only other thing that I have missed out there is there was something in the address from the CEO, something about how cryptocurrency has changed since Envion have, first put out their concept, and now there's loads of other alternatives, which I assume is referring to Miner One, ice rock mining, and hydro miner, and what's the other one? Ambit mining. He's saying like there's loads of other companies that are doing very similar things as Envion. So now we're going to proceed with the most, what was it? I think beneficial or most profitable way. And I don't know. He said that they're meeting up with a supplier or something like that. So I got from that they're sort of changing their ethos of the business. Instead of it being an environmentally friendly company, that was going to use this really renewable energy and was going to be decentralized. I think he's thinking, no, do you know what? Fuck it. Let's just create a big farm and we'll just farm. I don't know. That's the sort of hint I got from it, which is a bit upsetting, really, if they do go down that route. And I'm not saying that is exactly what he said. I'm just trying to cut through the bullshit and trying to say, right, okay, what do I think he means by that? You can read his email if on your own, if you like, and gauge your own thing from it. So, I don't know. I reading both sides' argument and going away from obviously what I've heard from Envion, as well as obviously what Envion have sent to investors and to me and maybe you guys watching this. I've also been reading a lot of your comments on my videos, and if you actually go back to my last videos that I've done 2 days ago, it's really divided people. Now, some people obviously are hardcore Envion advocates. Some people were like, I knew this was going to happen. I knew it was bullshit. Get out, sinking ship, blah, blah, blah. Just to make if you're watching this and you're new to my cryptocurrency journey, I actually sold my Envion tokens about a week to 2 weeks ago when they brought out their last update. So this news hasn't financially affected me personally, but it has some of my close friends. And obviously you guys, which a lot of you I consider friends and fans of the show. So, it does upset me still thinking about it now. So, they've split the community. Some people are like, look, you're jumping ship, Glenn, after all this time, when someone used an example like, oh, Facebook had a massive court case and Facebook went on to be one of the biggest websites in the world. Some people are saying, Glenn, they've still got 100 million. They still have to make these MMUs and mine and pay dividends because that's what the contract's in place is. So, still hold on to the tokens. Some people are like, oh yeah, get the new Envion 2 tokens. Yeah, I believe the CEO. Some people are like, no, stay with the founder team because the CEO is going to get arrested. And so it's a complete mess at the minute. And this is why I said the other day, because, someone criticised me. They said, Glenn, I understand what you're trying to say about your friends losing money, and that's admirable. But I think you're portraying Envion in a bad light, and, you've got an obligation to tell people the facts, which I suppose is partly true. Follow the Envion announcement channel on Telegram for press releases. Yeah, that's a good point. I've not had any info from Envion. This is deadlock. There is such thing as contractual obligation. I've only seen the one thing from CEO. If you go over to Twitter, follow them on Twitter, follow them on Facebook, or follow the Envion announcement page on Telegram, then you'll see this is Envion, the founder team. They're posting articles on Medium, whereas the emails that we're receiving through our actual email address, that seems to be coming from the CEO. So just bear in mind that's two separate entities, obviously with conflicting stories. Obviously, I'm trying to keep up with both of them so I can inform you guys. So yeah, I get what people are saying on the, you know, in the YouTube comments and what people have said to me. I've had a few messages through Telegram, and I've had people message me on Facebook. One of them called me a cunt, but you know, I get what people are saying, and I don't know the right or wrong answer. But all I know is this: if you think, obviously, this is going to take years, this is going to go to court, this is going to be an ongoing battle, then please just get rid of your token, exchange them for something. Unless it's money you don't care if you lose, then just leave it. If you have money invested in Envion, I would say, it's really hard for me to say. This is not financial advice. I don't want anyone to think, oh, Glenn told me to sell the tokens for 15 cents and they jumped up to 20 cents later that day. Invest in potentially something else, even if it's just Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, the major ones. At least you're sort of almost not guaranteed, but more likely over a short period of time to have some sort of gain. Whereas I can't really see a gain from Envion anytime soon. If you're on the mindset that, you know, oh, this is all going to get sorted and then there's going to be dividend payouts, now's a really attractive time to buy in. I think it went down to 14 cents at some point today. 14 cents for an ICO where the tokens were priced at $1. At one point it went up to $1.20. So you could be potentially talking about a 10 times gain if they ever get back to even just their ICO stage. But it's very unlikely at the moment. But remember, we're in a speculative game. When something bad happens in cryptocurrency, then the price goes down. That tends to be the best time to buy, because obviously there's only one way up from rock bottom, and that's up. So bit conflicting there what I've just said, but it depends on what your mindset is. Don't go by what I'm saying. Don't trust me. Go by what what does your gut say? Are Envion going to rise from the ashes? If they are, buy now. If you think, nah, this is going to take ages and it's probably going to go to zero and he's going to run off with the money, then get rid of your tokens, sell them. Now, in terms of should you keep, a lot of people message me, Glenn, what should I do? Should I keep Envion or Envion 2? That I have no idea what's going on with that. My gut feeling is to follow the money. So if he has the money, then I've always had this philosophy: whoever has the money in their hand has the power. So when we used to be in car sales, if a customer comes in and says, I want a free tank of fuel with that car, otherwise I'm not buying it, and I want this, and I want that, and I want new tyres, the chances are to get that sale, you're going to go, yep, or, oh, we'll see what we can do, blah, blah, blah. If it was the other way around, let's say the customer put their card in the machine, they've entered in their PIN, the car's all paid for, 100% paid for. At that point, you or the company have the money. If that customer says, oh yeah, by the way, Glenn, I also want a free tank of fuel and I also want the new tyre change, you go, oh no, that wasn't part of the deal, I'm afraid. And the car's already paid for now. It's done. It's jumped. And it's not just car sales. Someone commented saying you're bringing car salesmanship to crypto, which I don't know. I'm just using the first thing that pops into my head as an example. But, you know, with anything in the walk of life, if you transfer me money and you say, actually, Glenn, I wanted extra, I'll say, well, no, I'm not giving you the money back because, you know, I've already gone out and bought this product. I've already bought these bricks. I've already bought this plasterboard, you know. You know, you have the power. So in that respect, he has the power at the minute. He's the one who can actually make these MMUs appear. He's the one that can get this production line started. So if he's offering this token swap, unfortunately, my gut feeling would be to go with him. On the flip side of that, obviously, if the Envion founder team do press charges and it all goes through, and in the end, just to stop obviously any further loss of reputation or funds, he might just say, do you know what, just have the Envion project, I stand down, here's all the money, here's all the da-da-da, and everyone will say, right, we're only honouring the original Envion token. Then everyone will be like, oh fuck, I bought the Envion 2 token, or I did a swap, so I've lost out. So it really is it is a head jar, and when I say a head jar, it's a mind fuck what to do, because as of this moment in time, I don't trust either party. Someone also made a good comment and said, well, we invest in thousands of shitcoins that have no working product at all. You're just buying it on a whim that they will carry through with what they say in their white paper. And this person proceeded. It's quite a long comment. You can view it. If you want to actually view all my comments from my last video, you'll see the people that are for and against it. And he was saying, you know, Envion's an actual company that is actually registered in Europe, so you can actually view their company details. They are contractually obliged to follow through, even if it makes no profit in the end. They're obliged to use that money to create farming, to pay us dividend payouts in some shape or form. So therefore then, David says, I knew it was a scam. See, yeah, David told me months ago, might have been months ago, to get out of Envy, and he said some sort of news or something's going to come out in a short period of time that's going to make it dead in the water. And I didn't trust him, because obviously I had to go with my gut. Not trust him, but I didn't believe him. I had to go with my own gut feeling. I personally know a coder for the team. So yeah, this whole Envion and Envion 2 coin is, I literally don't know what to do. I can't help or advise you in any way. It's not financial advice, but all I will say is that whoever has the money has the power, and in that respect, the CEO's got the money, so I'd be inclined to follow him. But if you really believe in the founder team, then obviously you want to hold on to the Envion, original Envion token. I think that's how it works. I told you do not buy before you did. I remember you told me quite a long time ago, yeah, about Envion. But it is a shame, because out of all of the ICO mining, and it seems like none of them have really been successful. So maybe it just goes to show that mining really isn't as profitable as what people think, unless you got into the game really early on and you paid really low rates for your equipment. And it seems to be the same case with cloud mining. It seems like you know, mining in general is just a downward, you know, a downward chart of unprofitability. Someone out there might be able to say, no, Glenn, you're wrong. I've been mining every month and I make so much money. But from what I've seen, from my experiences, and judging by what I've seen, obviously, with big companies that are trying to scale and do mass scale mining, seem to really struggle with it. And even the Hydro CEO, you know, how it's not as profitable, and now she's only running at 24% profitability rate. Crypto is a anonymous world. Of course, you'll run into scams. Jupiter. Some people are still saying, even to this day, you know, oh yeah, I'm going to buy into Envion because they're at a cheap price. I'm not touching it at all at the moment. It's at a cheap price now, but we're saying that it could be worth 7 cents in a couple of days' time. Then you'll be thinking, oh, today's prices were quite expensive. So I'm just not going to touch it with a barge pole. While this squabbling's going on, I can't see why anyone would invest further into this company, because it seems like even the Envion company doesn't know what's going on. From the CEO to the founder team, there's enough, you know, there's seems to be no communication. So there's a divide there straight away. So I don't know, like, can this CEO, can he pull it off just by himself? What do you guys think? Comment down below, send me a message on Telegram. Or is it, you know, does he have to take on a whole new team? I don't actually know what's going on and what's going to happen. So that's really it, guys. If you've come here just to watch that Envion, I've tried to explain it as clearly and from my perspective as honestly as I can. I'm going to finish talking about Envion there, and I'm going to discuss some other things in my mind. So if you've come here just to watch that, don't forget to give us a thumbs up before you leave. And don't forget, if you're new to this channel, click the subscribe button. I really appreciate it. But if you're going to stay around, we're going to talk about some other bits. So let's just catch up with what you guys have said. David says, I had 333 mega hash per second block Eruptor, Butterfly Jalapeno, Jupiter, and from Hash Coins, the company behind Hash Flare. I didn't know they sold ASIC miners on their own, actually, or GPUs. I didn't know you could just actually buy them from them directly. And then I got scammed by Bitmain. Oh, sorry to hear that, David. You can't have businesses if there's no trust. Imagine a government where the president and the Senate hate each other and the power struggle. Need I remind you of what happened to Julius Caesar? Yeah, and this is how I see it, Baby London, and I agree with you. If that company can't sort it out between themselves, how the fuck are they expecting us to stick around while they sort it out? Obviously, if you do buy in today and hold for a little while and the price does go back up to even 50 cents, that's 5 times your money. So you might be like, oh, I'm so glad I bought. The biggest gains are made with the biggest risks. You know, if everyone said, right, this is a sure bet that this coin's going to take off, I guarantee you that's the coin you won't make money on. It'll be the one that everyone says, oh, that's a scam coin. And then it turns out it's not, or they release something and it works, you know, something like that. That's the coin that's going to obviously explode in value. So, right, so getting on to some other topics. My blockfolio has been shot to shit in the last few days. At one point, as you guys know, my cryptocurrency was worth 2,600. Apart from changing Envion into EOS, I haven't really changed it too much. I've kept everything the same. And it's now worth 1,400. So I've lost about $1,200 in the last week or so. Obviously, this comes at a time when consensus was going on, where I think majority of us expected a large increase in cryptocurrency and market cap in general. We haven't had that. Now, I did actually do a video, if you guys watched it, about 4 days ago, saying I think consensus is actually going to do the opposite. I think it's going to cause a sell-off. And the reason I said that was because, and I still believe it, and now obviously it's true. So, you know, I don't mean to be that guy. It's like, I knew it, I told you. You know, I don't want to be that guy. Obviously, it was only a hunch that I had. It was so blatant, you know, so many people saying, oh, yeah, it's going to go up. you know, it could go up 10-fold, because last year it went up 5 times. So this year, double more. You know, everyone was saying these sort of silly figures and numbers. And I thought, well, what's going to happen then is everyone's going to buy into cryptocurrency, which we had 2 or 3 weeks of just continuous gains, day in, day out. I believe as people were reading, like, oh, that consensus is going to happen, I better buy now because it's going to go up. The second people realise that it's not going up that fast, they're like, oh, shit. And they sell. And I thought the same thing. You know, I thought, oh, should I sell my cryptocurrency and put it into pounds? Because if this drops off, really, I probably should have done that, actually, to be fair, but I just couldn't be bothered in the end. So, yeah, that was my thoughts. I thought that is what would happen, and I still think it could happen. I don't think we're out of the water yet. I believe that once people give it a couple more days and they think, what, so I'm not going to get this massive 20 gains, you know, 20 times gains in the next few days, they're going to jump ship. And when that happens, obviously everyone's going to sell, which could cause an even further dip down. So we could see over this weekend, generally Saturday and Sundays normally are dip days, and probably Monday as well, we could see a massive sell-off. So just bear that in mind. If I had my laptop, I probably would convert everything I've got in Binance into Bitcoin, and then convert Bitcoin into pounds or US dollar, USDT, which I don't really trust them either, actually. So I'll probably convert it from Coinbase into British pounds, and then ride it out and see what happens over the weekend, and then maybe buy back in again at a better price. Saying that, the only coin that I've had in my blockfolio, which I wish I could show you, if you're in the Telegram group, I'll take a snapshot of it now so you guys can see what I'm talking about in this video now. The only coin that I've got that has been up to date is Binance coin, which I didn't understand why at first. So I went onto their Twitter and they posted an article about if you own Binance coin, your referral bonus that you get goes from, I think it was 20% to 40%. I thought, fucking hell, that's massive. God, that means if someone makes a trade for $100, do I get like 40%? You know, I don't know. I don't know how it works. I haven't ever received any referral bonus from Binance. So I thought, oh, I've got Binance coin. I've got 2 of them. So does that mean I get 40%? Oh, I need to start mentioning Binance more. But it was only if you have, I think you have to buy like 500 of them. Yo was sleeping on the couch. I'm glad you've had a nice little nap, Frederick. David said, it's not profitable and competitive to mine environmentally friendly in containers that need satellite internet and get stolen next year. Solar panels that are already in use or something. Well, it looks like you're right anyway. It doesn't even look like they're going to happen, David. So, yeah, Binance coin's gone up. If you own 500, was it 5,000 or 500? I think it was 500. If you own 500 of the coin, you receive 40% referral bonus. So if you have quite a lot of referees, then it might be worth trying to get hold of 5,000 coin. Obviously, 5,000 times, I don't know, was it $15 at the minute? I can't work that out in my head, but it's quite a big chunk of money. But if you're receiving, you know, decent amount of referral links, I don't get any. None of you guys, none of you have used my Binance link. I don't think. But then I've never ever promoted it. It's in the link somewhere down below. If you do use Binance, click on my link. I think it's only if you sign up to Binance, like as a new customer. I don't think it is retroactive, so I don't think it works if you've already got an account with Binance. So I don't know. If you've never signed up to Binance before, it generally is one of the better cryptocurrency exchanges out there. It is centralized. Some of these new ones are decentralized, but you know, they do seem to be one of the best out there. So if you want to sign up to Binance anyway, use my link down below, and I do get some sort of referral bonus if you invest in cryptocurrency. So just to make that clear, I'm waiting for Mishmash to come along and say, "Oh, you're trying to scam people. Why don't you stop shilling, you fucking cunt?" Baby London's saying, I think I have an idea of what's happening in this market. There's a lot of people who came in for quick profit late last year. I don't think we'll see any surge in Bitcoin or altcoins until there's a project with a solid product and community that drives the value up of a token or coin up. I agree with you there, Baby London, actually. Right now it's fiat, since there's so much disseminated bag holders, pump groups, high profile shillers, and novice investors selling at a loss. Sorry. Cortana says Huobi token is also going up, not only Binance. Sorry, Cortana, I said out of the ones that I've got. So yeah, there are other coins that are pumping, but out of my Blockfolio app, the only one that's gone up has been the Binance coin. Negated says, any projects you believe in and hodl, trying to clever moving and changing and trying to outsmart the market is risky. Completely agree with you there, Negated. That is true. EOS Finex, Frederick says, LOL. Negated. Exactly. The days of Moon and Lambos are done for. Quick ICO exits and whatnot. I think it is going to be harder. But there will still be projects out there that go from 1 cent to 10 cent in a very short period of time. And I think we still see this in the stocks and shares market. You normally have to get involved in a really early stage. And I think we're going to have that still. But how do you know which is the right one? Because if I start researching today, like, someone's doing a Formula One coin where, Formula One something is decentralized, blah, blah, blah. By the time I've read it, that means that they've already released it, someone's reviewed it, someone else is talking about it, which means there's probably going to be more than one. There's probably going to be 3 or 4. And then you start like, what one's going to be the one? What one do I invest in? Do I invest in all of them? It's really difficult. So I agree with you there, Baby London. Sign up for HODL 2. That also is good exchange, says Frederick. And if Frederick says it, that means it's sound advice. And the last comment, a bit, Glen, of course, there's still the Binance effect. Yeah. David says 600 EOS equals Lambo in 2019. Yeah, so I've been watching loads of videos today. Hang on, have I finished everything I wanted to say about? Yeah, so I pretty much just wanted to say that I believe that a lot of people invested leading up to this mid-May consensus week beforehand, and because they're not seeing the quick pumps, and they're like, oh my god, I haven't made 100 grand today. Oh, crypto, shit. So they're gonna sell out. They're gonna back out and either play the waiting game or invest in something else. So that's what I think's happening at the moment, and this is what I predicted to happen about 4 days ago. I think it was. If you go back and watch my videos, I think I labelled it "Will consensus lead to sell-off" or something like that video. Bit Glenn, you also have to figure out if any idea needs to be on a tokenized blockchain ecosystem. Having a towel business on blockchain won't mean shit to investors. Yeah, that's right. So I think it's Superman actually that one of the questions he always asks is why blockchain or why token, because you have to answer why. Why is this? Why do you want it on the blockchain? Why do you want it as a token ICO? Not everyone can actually answer that. They'd probably say, if they're being honest deep down in their heart, they're like, well, it's going to be a quick way we can raise loads of money without getting a bank loan. to start a project. So, and therefore, they have to raise some sort of blockchain or a token for that, and they can raise quick funds. And that's what we're seeing a lot of at the minute, say with Envion. Don't forget to smash up the likes, guys. Smash up the likes? No, we don't say that here. What did we say? Pump up the likes. Pump up the likes. Let me have a sip of drink before I get on to my next subject. Right, so next topic. Cha-ching, end of last one. I feel like I'm starting to know what I'm talking about a bit more with cryptocurrency. Now, I'm not saying I'm an expert, and I'm not saying ask me a question about any coin and I'm going to answer to it. I'm not technically minded, so I don't know much about cryptography. But in terms of like just watching the market, how it moves and sways, and the overall feeling of the market, I'm starting to pick up things on it, and that's all I'm trying to say. Now, when I first got into cryptocurrency, the attitude was of everyone, hodl. And I've brought this up a few times. Hold on for dear life. Hold on. Don't ever sell your Bitcoin. Don't ever sell your Bitcoin. And if you did a video and said, hey guys, I'm selling my Bitcoin today for I don't know, Loom Network, people would fucking jump down your throat. Oh, Bitcoin's the future. Why are you selling it? You know, you're never going to get this opportunity again. It's a transfer of wealth and all that. And I still believe all that. But in terms of short term, a lot of people are like, no, just hold on to Bitcoin. But what I've noticed is, obviously, I was thinking aloud, like, right, okay, mining isn't as profitable. So if I want to accumulate more Bitcoin than I start my journey with, so let's say as of today, I've got 0.05 of a Bitcoin or whatever. Obviously, if I want to increase that amount, because if I honestly believe that Bitcoin is going to be successful and it is going to be this massive thing across the whole world, it's going to be worth a lot of money. If I honestly believe that, how do I get from 0.05 without mining and without having to just keep pumping in more and more of my own personal money and savings? So the answer to that is, you could call it day trading, or I would like to think of it as gambling. You could then just keep a close eye on the market. You have to remember that this is a speculative game. Yeah, this isn't like, oh yeah, I really know cryptography, and because I know loads about code, means I'm going to make loads of money because I know what they're talking about. You have to obviously learn tips and tricks like what guys have been doing with the stocks and shares for God knows how long. You know, buying the news, selling rumors, press releases, joint ventures, stuff like that. Now, when that happens, you can obviously buy a coin. So say, obviously I've bought some EOS or Binance coin or Lend coin and stuff like that. These are projects that I may not 100% believe in, say like Lend coin and what's the other one, like OX and stuff like that. But if they go up, say 5 times faster than Bitcoin goes up, when you convert their money or their coin back into Bitcoin, you've accumulated 5 times the amount of Bitcoin. So instead of having 0.05, I've now accumulated 0.09 or 0.1. And then you've accumulated more Bitcoin than you had. So that seems to be the new mining. Now, when I first said that about a month ago, and I was only thinking it, and I was trying to word it, I didn't quite understand what I was trying to say, because in my mind, I've had it so drummed into me that you just hold on to Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, that's it. the rest are all just gambling. I've had that so drummed into me that I was like, I didn't know how to word it. I didn't know how to get it across, my opinion, on YouTube. But obviously, as I've thought about it over and over again, and I've tried to explain it to you guys and what your thoughts are and stuff like that, I still get people saying, no, Glenn, you don't know what you're talking about. Just hold on, just hodl, 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 hodl. And that may be the tactic to have. I don't know. But I've noticed a change. Now, it isn't just me. So I was watching, there's a YouTuber called Lewis something. He's a British, I think he's Welsh actually, but he's a British YouTuber for cryptocurrency. He does some quite popular videos. And he was talking about, you know, oh, I'm not a... And I remember watching his earlier videos and he was like, yeah, just hold, I'm going to hold on to Bitcoin forever and ever and Ethereum. But I want to watch his recent video. He said, yeah, I'm actually taking some profit out of Bitcoin now and I'm going to use some of the extra Bitcoin to buy other coins that go up quicker and blah, blah, blah. And I thought, oh, so he's thinking the same way I am. I assume he's never seen my videos because obviously I'm a small YouTuber. He's not going to watch my videos. So he's obviously thought that on his own accord. But he's also thinking in line with what I'm thinking. Then I've gone over to Superman's video today. And he's mentioned in his video towards the end, you know, oh, cryptocurrency's changed and you've got to change your opinion. It's not about hodling no more. It's all about, you know, buying shit coins or coins that you think may go up in price and then selling them at the right time back for Bitcoin. Now, this is a risky strategy. Don't get me wrong. You can invest in a company like, say, Envion or, you know, some other shit coin, Trump coin or something like that. And it could go, even if it went from 0.5 cent to 1/4 cent, it doesn't sound like a lot, but if you've got $2,000 invested in that, that's 25% you've lost. You know, you've now only got 1,500. So there are big losses to be had if you was to do that. But then on the flip side of that, if you're doing this across, say, 5 different shit coins, the chances are one of them are going to pump at some point. And this isn't a financial investment strategy to have. To me, this is just spread betting. You know, you go to roulette and you think, oh, do you know what? I don't just want to bet on one number. I want to bet on, say, 10. Because then I've got a 1 in 3 chance of it landing on one of my numbers. But then you only get, you know, so much payout. You know, it's only as profitable as you put in. So that's what I've been thinking a lot recently, and it seems that other YouTubers have the same mindset and same philosophy, and it made me feel like in my head, yeah, actually, I need to maybe stop. Now I don't know how to word this without sounding like a dick, but obviously, I get a lot of messages from people on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Half the time I think, is this a scam person? Are they just trying to trick me into saying or doing something that they're going to con me out of loads of money? But I need to maybe stop listening. If I honestly have a gut feeling and people say, no, Glenn, just hold on, just hold on. And I think, no, I think I should sell. I should go with my gut feeling more than listening to other people. Because I always feel like, oh, I'm going to let that person down. And they watch my YouTube videos and da-da-da. So I think I just need to go on my own path and obviously video it. And if people message me going, I knew you was going to balls up there, you know, then so be it. But if it made me feel a bit more reassured in myself as well. Because I'm starting to make decisions now. And when I think back at the decision I made, I think, yeah, that was the right call there. And I'm thinking, well, I'm starting to think that quite regularly. And this is even in a time when obviously things are down. I don't mean to give myself a big head or anything like that, because again, I can't predict what's going to happen tomorrow. But, you know, I got out of Envion a week and a half ago. Why? Because I looked at it and looked at the situation that was happening before all of this shit came out. And I remember thinking, well, if they're not doing dividend payouts anytime soon, that means the price isn't going to go up unless why would it just randomly pump? But also, we're not going to receive these dividend payouts, so I'm got no benefit in holding on to Envion token at all. That's why I cashed out and bought something else. I bought EOS. And obviously this mentality of like, yeah, it isn't just about hodling Bitcoin. I still want to accumulate Bitcoin, but I feel the best way I can do that now is not through mining. It's actually through the rise and falls of different coins. And now I start seeing big YouTubers, ones that have got hundreds of thousands of subscribers. They started 6 months to a year before I even got involved. And they're starting to say things that I thought to myself 3 weeks ago. That makes me feel more like, yeah, actually, do you know what? I do feel confident. I should be more confident and say, yes, look, I've been in cryptocurrency for 7-8 months now. Not that I'm, again, and not that I'm expert, but yeah, I do have a feeling of what I feel is going to happen. Obviously, I called consensus dip. You know, I called weeks before that. I was saying, well, actually, Sunday isn't the dip day anymore. It generally is it seems to be a Monday now. Monday midday seems the best time to buy back in. And I got that spot on for like 2 weeks in a row. And I actually bought on those days. And I felt like, yeah, I'm getting a feel for this now. And I'm starting to feel more maybe confidence or reassurance that I'm not just someone who's vlogging my falls. I have actually got something to give to you guys. I have got either a knowledge or a I don't know. I don't know how to word it. I'm sorry if I'm being a bit vague, but I feel like you know, when I first started this journey, I didn't have a clue what I was talking about. All I knew was Coinbase, giving my credit card details, then they'll give me some Bitcoin. You know, and now I feel like I'm starting to understand, you know, what makes a coin pump in any one particular time, why things are starting to dip. A lot of YouTubers talk about FUD, and I don't believe in it. Well, not in any of it, but I am starting to less believe in that sort of mindset or philosophy, because the news stories, forgetting consensus, so let's push consensus aside, the news articles that have been coming out recently have been awesome. All I keep reading, all keeps popping up on Twitter and Facebook and stuff like that is China sets to relax on regulation regarding ICOs. This bank in Mexico has started to implement cryptocurrency. Ripple comes out with record high figures for their you know, one of their softwares. You know, EOS raises 1 billion over the last one. I keep reading all these news stories and I'm thinking, God, this is really good. Just constantly, bam, bam, bam. People coming out, big people saying, you know, in cryptocurrency and generally in the financial sector, oh yeah, Bitcoin's going to be 50k this year, 35k this year. It's going to be 100k by next year. Ethereum's going to be 2.5 grand this year. Keep seeing all these things, and I'm like, God, this is really like, if this happened, you know, like a few months back, probably 6 months ago, the price would skyrocket if a news article came out like this. But I feel now there's such an oversaturation of a mixture of good news and bad news. You know, we're getting news come out saying the American regulators are all meeting up to decide whether Ethereum's in a security. But then the next day it's like, no, they didn't have that meeting. They had lunch. They all met up and had lunch. They did not discuss Ethereum at all. And the price of Ethereum's like, it had like a slight little pump and that was it. And then it just sort of went back down again. But, you know, I think there's such an abundance of news coming out all the time that the market isn't just going to be pumped by one or the other, good or bad news story. It still will happen. Like if it comes out, you know, India now, you know, the government have give it the go ahead and thumbs up for everyone to invest in ICOs. Obviously, that's a huge market being given the thumbs up to jump in. So I'm not saying news won't affect the market, but on an actual individual level of each coin, I think you have to look at them very closely. Follow them on Twitter, follow them on Facebook, check their websites, get news updates. Like I read Ethos send me emails regularly. Ethos is, if you don't know, the new wallet, the iOS and Android wallet that's going to be released. And they're saying, oh, it's the bee's knees. It's going to have all these features and implementations. It's going to be as easy as ever. And we've designed the app so easy that even your grandparents can use it. Now, I've been saying for a long time, an app like this is needed because we all do everything off our phone. So if you can get cryptocurrency easily accessible in a nice, you know, like a visually appealing layout, it's going to be big. And there's quite a few apps out there doing it, but Ethos apparently are at their final stages, and they're actually gonna send out an invitation to so many people that have pre-registered to actually just trial the app, which I would love to be a part of. If you're watching this, anyone from Ethos, or if you know anyone from me, please tell them to pick me, because I would love to get that app and I would love to try it out and give my honest feedback to them. So, you know, I was thinking, God, Ethos send me really good emails, probably once every few weeks to a month. Bearing in mind, obviously, my other experience is Envion, which they don't email me at all. And if they do, it's like, oh, the CEO's getting arrested. You know, they email me like, oh, we've completed the app and we've raised this much money and, you know, it's had really good feedback so far. And I think, God, that's really good. And then I look at go over to CoinMarketCap, check the price. And I think, God, I wonder if that's had a pump because of that email they've sent out. Have a look. No, it's not. It's like, it's either the same as it was or it's gone down a bit. And I think, what? How can, you know, how can, you know, that sort of press that they're bringing out? I don't know. Maybe you have to do it in a certain way. There's probably cleverer people out there that are better at marketing than I am. Well, I know there are. But I don't know. I just feel like with other coins, on the other hand, if they was to release some sort of decent update in an ICO stage, then generally you would get a pump. EOS is another one. They post quite regular updates with new things they're trialing or software updates they've done. And again, I don't see big pumps in that as of yet. But saying that, it's a bit difficult to judge that because we're in a bear market at the moment. The general feeling is obviously it's going down. Cryptocurrencies are not going to be worth as much as they were in December, not for a while. Could this be a continuous trend that we see over this year, up until the end of this year, maybe beginning of next year? We don't know. That remains to be seen. That could well happen. I don't think it will, not with the amount of interest and the amount of development that's going on. There's probably more going on in cryptocurrency now than there ever has been if you was to put all the years that cryptocurrency has been available put together. I have no facts or figures to back that statement up. That is just an assumption. And I was watching a video from, I can't remember his name, but the guy that does the CNBC Africa crypto trader channel. And I watched about 3 or 4 of his videos on the trot because I've missed the last couple that he's done. And he was talking to all new projects. And I've started making notes now. If I ever hear a project in my mind, I'm starting to make notes of it in my folder on my phone, because then I can refer back to it and check it later. Whereas I've had this mindset of like, right, Envion's the project I believe in. I'm going to heavily invest in that one. And then I want to hold Bitcoin, and that's it. I'm done. That's Glen done. You know what I mean? That's my crypto. And if you look back at all my videos, up until only about 2 weeks ago, that was my investment strategy. And it seems to have got me absolutely nowhere. So I'm going to start, obviously, one of the things that I actually feel quite strongly about is actually investing in the platform-based cryptocurrencies. Now, which one? That's a difficult, but I'm talking about Ethereum, Lisk, EOS, Neo, Stellar, Cardano. What's the other ones? I can't remember, but I've got a few of them jotted down actually. But A Chain, Knowles, Wang Chain, and Otology. Someone's put they've already started the beta testing. I assume you mean for Ethos. Yes, they did do a beta test, but they're saying that this is I think a finished product now, and they sent an email out saying that people will be able to. They want people to test the iOS version of the final product before they actually make it go live to the public, and they're waiting to hear back from Apple for their authorize of the app on their network. I think something like that. So it's at the right final stages, I believe. He had an epiphany. I'll buy some more Envion, says Mr. Balls. I do it the same way, but it's trading and you'll need to have luck as well. I was watching a video with Crypto Daily, and he was talking about people that have bots, trading bots, that can... I didn't know you could do this. That they basically keep always checking the Binance. As soon as Binance release a Twitter update saying we will be listing this coin, the bot just picks up on the name of the coin that they've mentioned, and it will automatically buy that coin. And I thought, God, that is so clever. I didn't know you could do that. I know that you have bots in place like that buy for you at a certain point, sell for you at a certain point, and they keep doing that for you. So then you can just come back and look, and if it, you can say, oh, I've gained $100 worth of Bitcoin today because it's been buying and selling every time it goes up and then back down and blah, blah, blah. I didn't know you could set an actual bot so it checks social media for you, and when that social media posts a mention of a coin, it buys it for you and then sells it at the top. That blew my mind actually. So I don't know if that's a real thing. If it is, I'd love to fucking know how to do it, because that is the one thing that I mentioned to you guys. Every time something does get mentioned on Binance Twitter, it has a pump that day. It goes up probably between 5 and 25%, depending on the value of the coin, in one day. Now, if you put $1,000 into that and a bot just does it for you, you could potentially make $100 to $250 on that day, and then give it a few days later, Binance will release another coin on there. So I don't know. You guys may know how I go about doing that. Please comment down below, give me a heads up, or chat to me on Telegram. PJ says, no, we do know. Next month you'll have a whole new outlook. What do you mean by that, PJ? I'm still very positive about cryptocurrency. Don't get me wrong. I don't mean to sound negative, if that's what you're implying. In the game for 7-8 months and saying hodling is not working. LOL. Well, it depends how you look at it, doesn't it? Because if you bought Bitcoin at 20,000, hodling isn't working for you, is it? Because you've lost, even today's I think Bitcoin's gone down again today to about 8,000. So you'd be looking at a 12 grand loss. Or in percentage terms, you're looking at, I don't know, what is that? 40%, 50% would be. No, it's more than that. 60%. 60% loss. So no, hodling isn't always the be all and end all. And if you look at Bitcoin generally over short term wise, I'm obviously over long term, I have very high expectations of Bitcoin. But if you look at Bitcoin short term wise, generally Bitcoin moves slower. So if Bitcoin was to go up 2% today, all the little altcoins, I say little, I just belittled them then, didn't I? A lot of the altcoins will generally go up potentially 5, 10%, 8%, 15%. And it would, like I say, it would be more beneficial to hold on to that coin that went up 15% and then cash out at the end of the day back for Bitcoin. And then you've accumulated more Bitcoin than you started the day off with. So I don't think just proper 100% maximalist, I think they call it maximalist, Bitcoin people just say hodl, 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 never sell it, never sell it. I think over a long period of time, you could come back and say, yeah, that was the right decision to make. For people like, say, myself, unless I give up this YouTube channel, I'm in cryptocurrency every day, every single day. Some of you might be able to just buy Bitcoin, you've got Coinbase on your phone, and you just refer to it every time someone says, oh, how much is that Bitcoin worth that you bought? And then you can go on your app and say, oh yeah, it's worth 8.5K, or you might check it once a day. For someone like me, and for someone who's just generally in cryptocurrency every day, it makes sense to keep your eye or ear to the ground, keep your eye on Twitter, keep your eye on the news, get a general feeling of the market, and say, do you know what? I've seen about 4 or 5 good news articles now about, I don't know, Loom Network, just for example, and then actually think, yeah, do you know what? I'm gonna buy some Loom Network because, you know, it's a Tuesday. That's generally between Tuesday and Friday. The market seems to do better than it does Saturday to Monday. Plus, I've seen 3 or 4 good news articles. I'll buy that. Hopefully, you'll get some sort of pump. If Bitcoin goes up 5%, that's going to go up 10%. Then you cash out, buy some more Bitcoin, and then you keep your eye to the ground. And this, yeah, eye to the ground, ear to the ground, and buy that way. That, to me, that sounds like a sound. But again, you finish my sentences. A sound business and trading method. Whether it'll work or not, I don't know. I'm going to find out, and I'm going to report to you guys and be as honest as I can with it. So we shall see. Neo with 7 nodes in one place. Chinese scam. What, Mr. Balls, you think Neo is a scam? Slick Your Foe says, yo, yo, wagwan, people. David Joe says, I use bots, but this function would be stupid. Mr. Ball says, profit trailer. David says, not every tweet is profit. Mr. Ball says, use a lot of time to tweak. Russell says, okay, that's balls deep. 20k. Oh, thumbs in the way. Yeah, so that's my thoughts. I've gone on for quite a long time now, an hour and 20 minutes. So thank you for joining me on my thoughts. I went quite deep into what's happening with Envion. I've told you my thoughts on it, what I think you should do with your Envion tokens, depending on how you feel. I've also covered what I feel is happening with the markets at the moment. And I've also covered what I feel is a good business marketing strategy, if you like. Not financial advice. I'm not giving. Do your own research. Go with your own gut feelings. But if you like or agree with what I've said, then please hit that thumbs up button. I've said it about 4 times in this video. I've noticed that my subscribers have really slowed down. Like, obviously, I got to 1,000 pretty quick, and I even got to 1,100 pretty quick. But from 1,100 to 1,170, which is where I'm at now, that's taken a long time, and it sort of really dipped between 40 and 70, it's like sometimes it will go down, sometimes it will go up. So someone's just, sorry, I was just reading a message that someone had sent me. What else have you guys say? Thanks for the information. Time to smoke weed. Smoke weed every day. I've never ever actually smoked a cigarette or fag, whatever you call it in your country. I've never tried weed. Mr. Ball says Kush coma. Like I say, I looked at quite a few, or made a note of quite a few projects today. There was one in particular that I was really impressed with, but I don't want to do it a disjustice, is that right? By just quickly mentioning it now. I'm actually going to do probably a video about it once I get my laptop and actually do a proper video on it with a bit more research and that behind me. Someone sending me Telegram. Summer weed up in the porn cave. You guys are referring to it as the porn cave. It's actually the crypto cave. But we'll call it porn cave if you want. To give you guys an update on the cave, the crypto cave or the porn cave, I made a massive balls up today. Oh my god. I want to run an Ethernet cable going from my router, but I didn't want it going like under the carpets and all drilling holes through the walls and stuff like that. So what I'd done was, the router's actually near the opposite end of the house, right by it's actually at the front of the house, obviously with a brick wall in the way. So I've drilled a hole, but we have really thick walls here. We have like 3 layers of wall. It's a bit hard to explain. So I've needed a really long drill piece. I've drilled a really long hole, and I've fed the wire through. Right, I've bought I've gone and measured what I thought what I would need to get to this shed, right, from the house. And I measured it to be about 25 meters worth of cable. So I've gone on and I've bought some category 6 Ethernet cable, 30 meters long, waterproof, weatherproof one, so it should hold out against the elements, so that I can put an Ethernet cable in here, probably in this corner, and then I can put just a Wi-Fi router in here, and I'll have like top end internet out here as well as being in the house. So I've gone to do it, and I've put the wire through the house. I've run it all around the side of the house, right through the garden, and literally the cable, literally just it was just too short, and it just about touched the shed. Obviously, I want it to go down the side of the shed and actually into the shed, and then have a bit of slack to obviously plug it into a router and that. So I was like, fuck, 30 meters isn't long enough. So I've had to send the item back today, and I've ordered today as well from Amazon a 50 meter Ethernet cable. I've had to pay like £27 for that cable. The 31 cost me 15 quid plus delivery. So I've spent about 50 quid on Ethernet cables the last couple of days. So I'm hoping to get a refund for one of them. But once I get that cable in, that means this shed will have its own electricity supply with its own fuse box, and it will have its own Wi-Fi, which will be awesome for when I do my live videos. I'm waiting for my insurance to pay out for my laptop, and instead of getting a MacBook Pro, which if you actually watch all my videos, like you'll see it probably on when I record it from my phone like I am now, you can actually see that it's the full length of the YouTube video. So it's at a aspect ratio of 16:9. When I do it on a laptop, because I'm recording my screen on the laptop is, I think it's 15 inches or 7. It's either 15 or 17, I can't remember, but it's not the 16:9 aspect ratio. So you'll actually see black bars either end of all my videos, apart from the ones I do on my phone. So I've been looking at getting a iMac, like one of the actual monitors, you know, with the built-in computer in the back of it, for a 27-inch screen, which is the 16:9 aspect ratio, which means my videos should look better on YouTube. But they're so expensive. I'm trying to find one for about $1,000 or under, and I'm looking at ones from 2012, 2013. I really want a 2015 onwards, really, because the DDR RAM is a lot better, the processor's a lot better, and generally, instead of normal hard drives there, you can get SSDs. I got quotes today for replacing a hard drive with an SSD and also upgrading the RAM, but that came to like about £400. So unless I buy iMac that's like £600, then I spend 400 upgrading it. So it's a decent spec one. I don't know what to do with that, actually. I'm a bit stuck. So that's what I've been doing towards the crypto cave. I've been shopping about like mad for the computer. Then I want to buy a second screen so I can actually do live videos, chat to you guys, and I can actually drag stuff across. I won't have to take up the whole screen. And then I was thinking about getting a, like, you know, the green screens that I can put on the central beam there, and I can just pull it down, because I'm thinking my computer is going to be along this wall here with the window, so then I can pull down, you know, like a blind green screen, and then obviously my videos will look a lot better. Then I was going to get a webcam, like a proper HD one, and also a proper mic, although no one's ever complained about my audio quality before, so I don't know. I don't really want to spend too much, because it seems like you guys are quite happy with how I do it at the moment anyway. Are you trying to set up a Hollywood studio? I just want to make better content for you guys. Obviously, make my videos look better, look more professional, so that obviously I can provide better content. Also, obviously, once it's up and running, and obviously, you know, I start to get a feel for it, I would like to actually come out here and really treat this as my job. So, like, I'll dedicate, say, a select 3 to 4 hours a day. Come in here, put my head down, make a video or 2 videos, edit it, upload it, and therefore you'll see more content from me, and hopefully better quality content. So that's what I'm hoping, fingers crossed. That's why I'm trying to work so hard to get this to be as good as it can be now, so that obviously you guys and myself will reap the benefits later down the line. So I've got to get internet in here, then I'll put the boards up. I still need to insulate it. You can see there's panels there that are not finished yet. That's because I've run out of this is the acoustic insulation, so generally my sound is a bit more blocked in here, which is good. I can't hear anything at the minute from outside world. Hopefully they can't hear me. Everyone's a winner. And that should come out better in the video quality as well, like the audio quality, because if my voice isn't echoey or muffled, then obviously you'll be able to hear me properly. And there are too many people that do time-lapse videos on YouTube showing how they set up their shed with solar panels and all that. Check them out and you may have time. Maybe you get a few ideas. I have been, yeah. There's so much I want in here. I want a 50-inch, well, not a 50-inch, but I want a big TV to go on this wall here, just to the left of me. That's why that plug socket's halfway up the wall, actually, because then I can hide the wires straight to the TV. And I'm going to have maybe like an Xbox One X there, so I can play video games out here when I get bored. I say under that window there is going to be a desk, so I've been looking at different desks. Obviously put the computer in there, then I'm going to have this sofa sort of in the background with some like cool cryptocurrency posters, and then I want proper solid oak floor or oak veneer flooring down here, because at the minute it's just this sticky panel stuff. It's horrible. And then I want like a decent office chair type thing so that I'm comfortable when I sit here and talk for 95 minutes as I have now. So yeah, I don't know. There's a lot going on in my head. So I hope you guys appreciate it. The only thing is, obviously, while I'm not doing anything on my laptop, I'm not learning anything new to do with YouTube. But I am cryptocurrency. I'm always learning every day about that. I try and read quite a bit at the moment about different projects and checking white papers, reviews. A lot of people send me links. One of the projects that I'm in, as you guys know, is EOS. That goes live on June the 1st, so we've only got a week and a half, and then that goes live. So we'll see, obviously, what happens with the price then. But it seems like... So this video I was watching... Oh, shall I talk about this another day? This video I was watching, I'll just be quick. It was people talking about there's all these Ethereum killers out there. All these different projects are all saying we're going to be faster and better than Ethereum. But what they were saying is, yes, you can have 10 million transactions per second. A bit like what Bitcoin Cash has at the moment over Bitcoin, is that instead of these 8 meg blocks, now they've got 32. But the argument is no one was using the fucking 8 blocks as it is. People were only using 2 or 3 or 4 max. So now you've got 32. People are still only going to be using probably 4. So you've got all that potential space and technology and hardware doing absolutely nothing. So what a lot of people are saying is, yeah, these Ethereum killers that are coming out, they may have really good transactions and they may have better resources in terms of the programming. But what makes a platform so successful is the development and the community behind it, and none of them have that over Ethereum at the moment. Ethereum has such a large development base that it would be very hard for a newcomer to come in and go, right, we're competing with Ethereum now, and they may have the best tech in the world, but unless they've got like a good 1,000 developers all developing dApps or use cases or coins and stuff like that on this blockchain, the new platform, it's never going to take off. So that was quite interesting for me, because obviously EOS is about to go live, and obviously a lot of people expect big things from EOS, and CNBC, eFanboy video. It's not just them. If you look at several other, if you just search on YouTube Ethereum killers, it's not even just EOS, but other people talking about Lisk and all those other ones I mentioned earlier. Yeah, so really it's just about having the development. You need to have people making stuff on this platform, otherwise it's never going to take off. So that'll be interesting to see over the coming year, year and a half, and I believe this is what I honestly believe is going to happen. I think Ethereum's going to be number one for a while. Someone was talking about that it takes about 2 years, or it took Ethereum 2 years to actually get to the level it's at with the amount of developers. If someone new came along, which obviously we know there's about 10 of them, I think that there's going to be quite a few that develop for that new product, say Neo or EOS, but only one of them's going to shine and outperform the other one. And I think the others will just drift away. I think eventually they'll be worth nothing. No one will use it. There'll be no use case for it at all. And we'll have 2, maybe 3 major platforms battling it out month in, month out. Bit like Bitcoin Cash, and Litecoin Cash, Ethereum Classic. I think we're going to see a couple of those type of projects disappear, but then obviously the ones that stick about are going to profit quite a lot. Negated says it's going to take that DApp that pulls in non-crypto peeps. Yep, I mean that will bring in mass adoption, which will be really good. Mr. Ball says got ETH, vote against ASICs now. Apparently they might. I think Vitalik Buterin has done a. I don't know what you call it, but he's basically wrote a paper, but nothing set in stone, just what potentially could be a way of making the Ethereum more ASIC resistant, which then could be implemented also on Zcash. Whether the development team decide to push this forward is another thing. We'll see what happens, I suppose. But that's it really, guys. I've been chatting for long enough now, about an hour and a half, hour and 40 minutes. About time I went to bed and go to sleep. But I've pretty much give you everything that's been on my mind for the last 2 days now in cryptocurrency world. So before you leave this video, please give this video a thumbs up. If you're new, subscribe to this channel. Don't forget you can check out teambitglen.com, and you can also head over to my description below this video. I've got Binance link there if you want to join up with Binance, but also I've got the Telegram group chat, which you can click on that and obviously chat to me and also some of the other guys that you see regularly on these live videos. So thank you for watching. Thank you for all your feedback. And even when obviously when the whole thing with Envion was happening, I felt quite not down, but you know, I felt a little bit low because I felt like I'd let everyone down somehow. You guys were all there to pick me up, apart from 1 or 2 people that gave me a bit of stick, which I expected. Generally, overall, it was really positive. Stay safe.